Hi everyone. Welcome to my page. I had some revelations in a session yesterday, and I've been doing quite a lot of channeling in the last week because I've had some in-person workshops and some classes, and then I had a healing circle last night all about connection. And so there's just a lot of messages coming through that feel really important. So I decided I'd come online and share some of that with you all today. So yesterday I was in session with a client, and she's working on letting go of a relationship. And what I realized when I was holding space for her and kind of guiding her through a meditation and an activation and a clearing was that I had a very strong match with something that she was carrying. And so I want to talk about that today because my suspicion is that many of us are carrying this frequency and don't know it. And so what I realized yesterday in session was that there's some deep sorrow in my heart chakra. I can actually feel it as I speak about it. It feels like this heavy, dense energy that I think is always there. Because I see people all the time that can't connect or can't feel the unconditional love that I feel from spirit. And there's also deep sorrow that I'm carrying because I know that there are people who are holding back from stepping into their purpose and stepping into their joy because they're afraid and because they're not sure how to go about stepping forward in that way. And so I realized that I kind of walk around all the time with this sorrow energy compartmentalized in my heart chakra. And I thought, hey, maybe I'll come on and talk about it, and maybe the universe will gift me with some knowings of how to release that as I speak to you all about it. And what I was meditating on this morning as I was kind of getting ready for my day was that when we're holding sorrow for someone and we're holding sorrow that they can't rise to an occasion that we are holding as a place for them to rise to, we're kind of setting an expectation out there that they're not okay as they are. And so, it's a really tricky business to be a healer and to be a way shower and to be a light worker because we know a lot of things, but we know nothing all at the same time. And we have an assumption that if we can see what they have as a potential within them and they're not living up to it, that it's not okay. And so that's where that sorrow comes from. It's almost a way of us taking responsibility for their process and really wanting them to move beyond where they are now. And what I learned over the summer is it's not okay for me to take responsibility for anybody else's process. And I've always known that, but it became even more apparent to me over the summer because what was happening is as I was trying to take responsibility for somebody else's healing process is that I was getting in the way of their own process. And so, how this might relate to some of you, if you're not healers and you're not doing this work on a daily basis for others, is just by being a member of a family where there's a lot of differing views and differing life paths. So you may be on a life path where you're very tuned into your spirituality, you're doing meditation practices, you're exploring, you're going on adventures, and you're really living to your fullest. And you may have other people in your family who, in your mind, are living a very small and limited existence compared to that. And you may be carrying in your heart chakra some sorrow or some sympathy energy for them because you feel like they're not living to their highest purpose and their highest potential. And all of those things may be true, but the more that you hold on to that sorrow energy and that grief energy in your heart for them and kind of look at them with this sympathy, the more you're expanding that reality for them. And so I wonder if we might be able to move to a place where we hold a vision that they are just in their joy. And we hold a vision that they are loved. And we hold a vision that they are okay, just as they are. And I wonder if we all started to do that with the people in our lives that we really want to help, but we don't know how to help, that they would find a way, in their own time, to heal. And they would find a way in their own way and in their own time to break their addiction or to let go of that relationship that's really not serving them. We all see this in people around us. We're very good as humans at observing what's happening for those around us and making really quick judgments and assuming that we understand. And I think sometimes we can see more what's happening for them than they can because they're in it, and it's really easy to get caught in a blind spot. But unless they're asking us for our opinion, unless they're asking us to help them, what if we just shift instead to just holding that they're happy and just holding the vision that they're happy and just keep seeing them as happy and joyful and loved, and just hold that as a frequency for them, and then let them go about reaching it. And their path to that might be very, very different than your path. It might be very confusing to watch their process. But what if we watched it with childlike curiosity to see how they might surprise us and to see how they might show up differently than we expect? Because a lot of what the energy is about this month is letting go, but also simultaneously connecting. And that's really confusing, right? How do we let go but also at the same time choose deeper connection? And I think that this is a way. I think by not trying to fix others and allowing them to have their process, but also holding a vision for them of what they want in their life. Maybe they've articulated that they want to be in a different relationship, and so you just hold that vision for them. And maybe they haven't articulated anything, and so you just have to hold love and joy for them. But what if we just hold that vision for each other, and we allow each other to have our own process, our own individual processes to expand? And then maybe we don't have to walk around with this compartment in our heart where we feel sorry for people and we have sympathy for people where maybe we don't need to. Maybe it's okay that there are people that are never going to be able to feel that connection, that deep connection to source. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay because that was what they signed up for in this lifetime. We have no idea what their soul contract is. We have no idea why they're here. We have no idea what they came here to learn. And there is beauty in watching people's individual paths. And I'm not saying that we should allow people to suffer needlessly, right? If they truly are broken and need help and are willing to receive that help, I think we should always give it. But oftentimes I think we do the opposite. I think that people come to us and they really just want us to listen, and we try to fix and we try to take responsibility for their process. And then we are walking around with these holes in our hearts because we know that maybe they're not able to fulfill that joyful living that we want for them. So I just had that on my heart, and I noticed that yesterday. And when I notice these things, I often realize that they're important things to be talked about, because I'm sure there are other people that are feeling that, especially with the election here in the U.S. that we have going on and a lot of the division that's happening. I know many of us want joy for everybody around us, and we want everybody to be in a place of ease and grace. And sometimes we want that so badly that we kind of get involved in what they're doing and get involved in their process and sometimes derail it, I think. So that's what I had on my heart today. I wanted to share it with all of you, and put your comments. I'd love to hear if this is something that resonates with you. I'm just starting to explore this frequency and starting to explore this teaching that I think is coming through, but I wanted to just share what I've already found within me, so that I could perhaps also call in a way to release it and call in a way to let go of this sorrow, because I don't think we need to carry it, and I think that it is creating a lot of heaviness in our fields. And maybe if we're not carrying that, we can open our hearts more and we can hold more joy and more love and allow other people to just meet that frequency. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.